Are you all right?
Yeah, we're busy, trying to get things.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the hour has arrived. Call this meeting to order. I'm going to ask Mr. Johnson, if you will, to give the invitation.
Father, once again, we thank you for allowing us to come back in and handle the city business and make decisions to help our community go forward. We ask you to look down upon us tonight and give us wisdom and knowledge that we may make the right decision. We ask you to bless those that are sick and bereaved, those that are soldiers that's on the battlefield. We ask you just to give us guidance. In your name we do pray. Amen.
Amen. Stand and pledge allegiance to the flag of our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Are there any suggestions as to amendments or corrections to the agenda? Hearing none, entertain a motion that we approve the agenda as printed.
Make a motion.
Mr. Griffin has made the motion that we approve the agenda as printed. And who did I hear second? Mr. Johnson. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the agenda is set. Number one is the zoning recommendation for Jefferson Street, of which we laid on the table. And
I move that this motion be brought from the table.
okay, the motion is made that we bring this motion from the table.
Second.
And it's seconded by Mr. Griffin, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, next motion.
On the recommendation and whatever else, I make a motion that we do not allow them to take and put the mobile homes down there, because I feel like it will take and set a precedence for the rest of the city. And having spoken with our Charles Harrell and everything, he's in agreement with us not doing that, because we don't need to set a precedence where we can put this all over the city of Hazlehurst, just wherever there's a lot.
Got a motion that we deny the request to allow mobile homes in this area. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ramey. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor of denying the request, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion's carried. All right. Next item is approving. We had quite a lengthy discussion on this, and so the next item, I entertain a motion that we approve the GFA loan and engineering agreement.
And this is on the Jeep project we discussed the other
Drinking water, this is the project we discussed at length Monday night.
Monday night,
Yes.
Including the well and the fire hydrants, correct?
That's correct.
I'll offer motion that we go through with it.
You made the motion?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ramey. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, I will sign the document. We had inserted this since Monday night. I've been quite frustrated about this. Last year, or a little over a year now, right when we were about to, should be beginning with our 2018 year-end audit, we found out that our auditor that had been handling our audit for years and years said that he wouldn't be able to handle it, and that put us in a very awful position. At a time when the audit should be have begun, we were in the process of trying to find an auditing firm. We got busy and did round one up rather late. We got an extension on getting our audit in, and then in turn, once they got the firm was familiar enough with everybody at the Georgia Auditing Division in Atlanta. They asked for an additional deterrent or extension, and but we finally got the audit in, and we were all real pleased and thought, well, now starting this past year ending, are you having trouble here?
Yeah, but I can get it. Go ahead.
I got a call the day before yesterday. The person that we contracted with said I called asking him, wanted to get in touch with him because I wanted to know when they were going to start on the 2019 audit. And, when he called me, he said, Wayne, I'm sorry to tell you, but I don't think we're gonna be able to handle it. I said, what in the world are you telling me? And, he said, well, I won't get into all the details at this time. If you want to know more about it, I'll discuss it with you. But he had some problems with the getting the audit done. And but I said, Mark, you put me in an awkward position. That's where I started when I found you. And I said, please come to Hazlehurst and sit down with me, and let's see with what you've just gone through now. And you're familiar with everything about our books and all. I said, come to Hazlehurst and let's see if I can't resolve any problems that you might have. And he assured me that he would be in Hazlehurst to sit down and talk with me in a few days, and that was the day before yesterday. So it's been 1, 2, this is the 3rd day. I'm hoping he might come today, but if not, maybe the first of the week. But I hope that I can work out resolve his questions and things, and maybe we can get that worked out. I can assure you that we paid a tremendous amount more this past year for getting an audit done. We were prompt with all of our payments, and they're paid, so it's got nothing to do with that. And so at any rate, I'll let you know as I move forward. That's just a matter of information.
We've got to proceed to interview and find somebody that's going to be able to do the audit. I don't care really whether it's this one or not. I was rather disgusted with a letter that they sent, that they falsely accused our staff, and I know that 4 of them timely put some things in when they was requested for information. They turned that information into them, but when they talked about a timely procedure, they were anything but timely. They cost us money.
Anybody else want to chime in on our circumstances with the audit?
Only thing I can say is if they're not willing to sit down, and hunker down and do this for us, we're in the same boat we were last year.
Amen.
Gotta get somebody.
And we gotta take and find somebody, and it's gotta be PDQ. And,
Well, I have been working on Plan B, if we have to go to Plan B or C, but I'm hoping that we can get this resolved. But it's like I explained to him when we were talking, with all, you're now familiar with it. They turned and overturned every box and file in the city of Hazlehurst that was available to us, and they should be much easier. But at any rate, I'll resolve it the very best I can, and with your help. All right, let's move on. Item 4. Our clerk has computed the formula that has been set for Christmas bonuses and safety bonuses and other extra things that we hand out to our employees during the Christmas holidays. The computation has been done, and the expense over and beyond the payroll will be around $25,000. And she's got the list. I think all of you looked at it, glanced at it a little bit Monday night. So I think at this time that we need to make determination for her to make necessary plans for the writing the checks and getting things ready. I entertain a motion that we approve or disapprove.
I'll motion to approve it.
All right, Mr. Johnson made a motion that we approve the Christmas bonuses as outlined in this thing that we passed around and you've looked at. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Mr. Bloodworth has seconded the motion. Any further discussion?
I think that the bonuses need to be approved at this time, but I think they ought to be reevaluated as more appropriate methods for the following year.
All right, if you would remind me, and just don't wait till time
We can't wait till this
next
time.
Christmas. Let's try to get that done ahead of time and make sure that she knows the formula to use so that she can prepare it. But I think I appreciate your comment. Any other comments? Hearing none, let's move on.
Well, you got
I thought we had.
no.
we got a motion and a second.
Thank you, sir. All right, we've got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor of approving the Christmas bonuses, which is approximately $25,000, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is carried. Thank you all for correcting me. All right. Pardon? Yeah, Chief Wasden, you want to explain this, hazardous material awareness training? You don't have to come up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't need you over there. No problem with that.
Normally we do and all, but, I think we can handle it. Go ahead.
That's called roll conflict.
Yeah, it is.
Speak up.
We just finished a firefighter one class, and this is required of all of our full-time. I have 2D full-time. We done it on site, saving the city about $10,000 instead of sending them to Forsyth. So we have one of the guys that's got to go to do his hazmat awareness and ops to finish his certification. So that's what I'm asking. He's got to go. If we want to keep him, if not, I'm going to fire him. Simple as that. Because his time's running out.
What's about the cost? Have you figured the cost, what it is?
It's the room, there's no cost to the class, just for him to have a room, and meals probably somewhere around $300.
You room and meals?
Yes, sir, three.
So you're talking about less than $500?
Oh, yeah, less than $500.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, gentlemen, you heard the chief's request for this hazardous material training for Dustin Hires.
I'll make a motion to approve the training.
Mr. Bloodworth has made a motion that we approve the hazard material training for Mr. Hires, seconded by Mr. Ramey. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is carried. All right. Now, council, we've got item 6, our customary water and sewer adjustments. The report to council and check register. 6, 7, and 8 are routine things that we do every month. I entertain a motion that we combine those three and approve them.
So moved.
All right, is there a second to that motion?
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now then, with these three items, I entertain a motion that we approve 6, 7, and 8.
I make a motion, we approve 6, 7.
Mr. Griffin, he made the motion that we approve it, and is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Johnson, third by Mr. Ramey. All in favor, any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it's done. Citizens' comments?
Oh,
Yes.
first off, I want to thank you.
Watch it,
But
tell
push
me.
that back to the wall, Tommy. Reach back there, push that thing to the wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
Go on.
used it earlier. You push it on back to the wall.
I got it.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll get out of your way. Yeah, just carry it on back. Now then, you won't buff your head.
Let me just tell you real quickly, I told my wife and daughter at the house tonight that, I'm gonna go take a shower and go to the, city council meeting, 'cause I think Rory Cheney needs a little support, and she was supposed to be here tonight. But fortunately, she didn't have to come, because she was very much against the, mobile home, because she's very much interested in our community, and I wanna tell you how much I appreciate y'all denying that request. I don't think we need mobile home parks all over so I just want to thank you for doing that, and I'm sure Rory, I just sent her a text message, and she said awesome. So she's tickled to death too. Secondly, I want to tell you that, I don't know, Carl, you may be, take the credit for it, but, Rory, Rory tells me to do things, and I go do it, and I took my chainsaw down to the Serenity Park and cut a bunch of stuff and everything, and Wednesday I rode by there to see what I needed to do next, and the prisoners were out there, and the water and sewer folks were out there, and they did a tremendous amount of work, and I asked the guy, I said, the guard, I said, I'm the one that cut these things down, can I cut some of these and y'all help carry it to the road? And he said, sure. And I cut about 2 limbs, and one of the prisoners came and said, give me that thing. And he knew how to operate a chainsaw. He did so much better work than I did. But I appreciate those, because that thing has not been touched in 12 years probably. And everything was overgrown, and it looked so much better. And I just want to make that's a positive comment, and I appreciate what all was done out there. But I can't remember his name. That he used to work.
You talking about the guard?
No, the city employee used to
Chris
work.
Horn?
Yeah, and he did. I compliment what he did out there. One other thing, and I'll quit. I looked at Monday night's thing, and I may be the videotape of Monday night's meeting, and I may be wrong about this, but it sounded like when Mr. Parise came up,
She's talking about Tony Parisi.
Tony Parisi. Is it Parisi?
Yes.
Okay. It sounded like what he said he said that we can generate $36,000 a year, and then we get $15,000 from Splosh, and something else.
Just about that. I mean, that, we all know better than that.
Okay, well, I wanna make sure, 'cause, that's supposed to be,
Yeah.
that Splosh goes to capital improvements. You can't use it for operation. I just wanna make sure everybody understood it.
Tony
That's it.
is working and struggling, really trying to help us get that where we can swallow it.
Thank you, Tom.
We all know that.
Thank you.
And by the way, we appreciate the positive remarks. Okay, any other citizen comments?
If you will look in front of you, gentlemen,
You're not a citizen.
yes, I am. Miss Andrea Taylor sent an email about the Community Leadership Christmas Dinner, which will be held December the 12th at the Hazlehurst Golf Course. Reception will be from 5:30 till 6, with the dinner from 6 to 7:30. It's sponsored by the Joint Development Authority and the City of Hazlehurst. I will need to know who in this panel will be attending as soon as possible.
I believe that, in this event, how did she say, community leadership.
Right.
So at any rate, she explained to me that she was gonna send a right broad list of invitations to this. She had a lot of steaks left over, uncooked, that they put away at the steak cook-off, I believe around 60 or better. And so she plans to grill those, approximately, she's planning on about 60 people or more. We can get more if I don't know how her list works out. But, there will be a steak dinner by invitation and a nice dinner out there that night. And from 5:30 to 6, those of you that participated, before with our oyster roast, there'll be a big light out on the back of the Civic Center there, and that gadget that we fixed up to roast oysters and all will be there, and we'll be roasting oysters outside from 5:30 to 6 or so, and have a little reception period, and then go ahead and have a nice steak dinner out at the golf course. And Ms. Andrea put all this together.
Yes, sir. From the description that she gave me, the city council members, the county commissioners, the Joint Development Authority, the Board of Education, those that basically went to, was it Jekyll Island for the retreat? She's going to
You try to duplicate that group that is, yeah.
Right, that's what she's going to try to do.
And then if you know of anybody else that, is not a community leader now, wants to be, we'll invite them too. All right, where are we now?
Mayor and Commissioner
All
Thomas.
right, gentlemen, y'all have anything you just burning to bring before us?
The only thing I want to say, to the community, to the council, is kind of off the path. But if you ain't doing anything Sunday afternoon, and I know you probably don't want to be in all the loud music and the church stuff, but we having homecoming at Bennett Tabernacle, and I want to invite everyone. I can tell you those ladies are going to have some mighty good cooking afterwards. Y'all may not want to be in all the music and the jumping, but the cooking you may want to. So they're going to have all kind of food, and we're going to be there. If you can't get there during the church, come and eat. And I promise you, I didn't do no cooking. The ladies doing it, and you'll enjoy it.
So, you said the food is afterwards, what time is afterwards?
But now, you know, we're holding the street.
That's exactly
what I'm saying. So if you show up around 2 or 3 o'clock,
Okay,
you'll be
right.
plenty enough time.
Afterwards, 2 or 3 o'clock.
Cause we start at 10 o'clock, and we may not be out at 2 or 3.
Well, I think I won't know when afterwards was.
Okay, afterwards be around 2 or 3 o'clock.
I've been
Please
in-
come.
If those of you that haven't been in his church and that new addition they've got, they have the nicest, largest facility for this in Hazlehurst by far. It's the biggest facility out, and I enjoy, first of all, I'm delighted to see it, Mr. Johnson, what y'all done there, and then I always enjoy going, and the food is mighty good. The clerk has asked me to, and I think all of us are pretty much agreement, the county commissioners have sent out a notice that Wednesday, the 27th, the day before Thanksgiving, at 1 p.m. They'll start the Thanksgiving holiday at 1 through Thursday and through Friday, and then, of course, you've got the long weekend, so you just about take a vacation from Wednesday at noon to the following Monday morning for Thanksgiving. Are we going to observe the same practice here, gentlemen?
Say that again, please.
Wednesday at noon, the day before Thanksgiving, they're going to depart at 1 o'clock, leave at dinner, and then have all day Thanksgiving, and then off Friday afterwards, and then that being on Friday, you've got Saturday and Sunday, so there's quite a vacation for Thanksgiving there.
Are we gonna be able to be caught up?
Our
I mean,
handbook,
at noon? I mean, because like I said,
our handbook said, because we do not observe the Columbus holiday, y'all voted years ago that they would take Friday after Thanksgiving. So in the handbook, that is the holiday. Basically, what we're seeing is Wednesday from 1 o'clock on. The girls say they can, Commissioner Griffin.
I mean, I'm
I
just
told
talking
the
about, I'm talking
guy
about the
driving
garbage
there,
trucks and
yeah,
whatever else.
Yeah, I told them that if y'all voted to do it, we need to put it on Facebook for everybody to have their trash can out.
Well, I mean,
And they also agreed if they need to come in
They've been
Friday
doing it.
and pick up for a couple hours, they didn't mind doing that.
Well, do this just about like I used to do my students. I'd give them that challenge. We won't have that cookout. We've got to get these things done, X, Y, and Z. And I think they can get that done. I think we need to follow that.
I agree.
Well, that may tell us something if they do it that quick.
Oh.
Maybe we may be
Now,
learning
Mayor.
something here.
I got one thing, if I may.
Sure.
I meant to speak on it earlier, but I got, Monday night, Ken talked about the computers at the police department, the $15,911. That is a match grant, and, the city would have to pay $7,500.
Okay, yeah. So it is a matching grant.
Right, it's the same.
Okay, I'm glad you're correcting that. I thought it was to start with, but, yeah.
He needs it though, and he needed to know some.
I just need you to vote on it, that I can go forward. I haven't even been awarded it yet.
All right, I thought we handled that.
Well, we did, but,
I told you it was 100% grant.
right.
And I was wrong, it's a matching grant.
Right.
Okay,
So,
all right.
revote.
Let's, I entertain that vote. John, since you know what's involved, how about correcting the motion and putting it before the council?
Okay, I make a motion that, Chief Williams be allowed to apply for a matching grant for the computers at the police department in the amount of $15,911. City's portion will be $7,500.
Have a.
Correct.
Okay, gentlemen, you've got the motion before you. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ramey. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, now then, Ms. Bernice here says that we ought to make a motion on this holiday. Now, the only thing I'd caution you about now is I would caution you about following the county commissioners. That's dangerous.
Inside of the, thing being, statement of being dangerous, I move that we follow the same procedure.
Okay.
Second.
Councilman Ramey has made a motion that our Thanksgiving holiday begin at noon on Wednesday and go through the rest of the week. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bloodworth, and third is by Mr. Griffin. Any further
That
discussion?
was Johnson.
Huh?
That was Mr. Johnson.
Was it?
Yeah, well, it don't matter.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion's carried. Any other thing, Commissioners, that we need to handle? Mr. Attorney? You kept our nose clean, you think?
As far as I know, nobody's in jail.
All right, I thought, I like this getting out in less than 30 minutes, but let me bring one thing to you that I hate to bring to you too. Carl and I just looked at that recently in the last few hours. Last trip to our refurbished Gill Street water tank, and I had the young man when he went up in there, and I said, I want pictures of that thing all over it, the bottom, the floor, the sides. I want pictures of what's inside that tank. I got the pictures today. He sent them to Carl, and Carl transferred them to me. A lot of our dark water is coming from the Gill Street water tank. It's evident, the pictures reflect that there's a lot of, black material in the bottom of that, well, that tank that we've had refurbished. And, until we could get that thing cleaned again, we paid $135,000 to refurbish that tank and to get the well going. And I've run that well, as I've told you, over and over again for a week or two at a time, and that's the clearest, prettiest water, good cool water I drink. Many I had them to put an elbow in it and run it back around the fence and out to the railroad ditch, that goes down there, because I was curious about it being set up for that long. And we've run that well. Of course, EPD and everybody's tested, OPI and everybody, even beyond OPI's level, have come by and checked the water and approved that thing, and I agree. So when I heard that there's something about the well, I was questioning. They seem to think that the casing might be some reflected iron ore deposit, ferrous type material coming loose from the well casing, but that's not generally the case. That would be small in that little small area. But what I saw up in the top of that tank, in the floor of that tank, my heart just fell. It's not something that we can't handle. They've approved us back months ago to refurbish and put that tank back in service, and they have, but we don't have it clean. And the thing that we've got to do is get them back up in there and get that tank clean. And some of that material, due to the nature of that, I'll try to explain it. And by the way, this would have been on the agenda as an item had I known about it in time. There's an open pipe going up in the top of that thing that's quite large. It's cased, and then there's a pipe inside that thing. And Carl and I, excuse me, I don't know where this came from. Carl and I talked about it. We think that perhaps that thing sitting up as long as it did, that pipe itself, where it goes up, is a ferrous type, iron type pipe, and some of that stuff may be flecking off and is with all that. Carl, you want to add to what I'm trying to say?
That center pipe, you got 3 pipes going up that center. There's a 10-inch pipe going in there, and 2 6-inch pipes going up that center. That 10-inch pipe just stubs up in the bottom of the tank. That 6-inch, one of the 6-inch goes all the way to the top and cascades over. But there's so many pipes in there that a man can't fit down that middle pipe out there. And it is slap full of iron and rust, and that's where our problems come from.
Let me ask a question, please. Wait.
Yes, sir.
I thought that we had appropriated something, had a company to come in to redo that.
They did.
They did.
And they
They
repainted it and refinished.
This didn't all come
Wait a minute.
after that fact, though, did it?
Yes.
That center pipe going through there, a man can't fit, they never cleaned the inside that center pipe.
Well, they
But
do
wait a
the
minute.
job.
Wait a minute.
y'all.
Wait a minute. At the time that this was done, they went into the material, what was available, all inside it, cleaned it magnificently, painted it and fixed it. Outside, they climbed and went all the way around, all the way down to the ground. But what Carl has mentioned, what I've been describing, the center thing up there, I don't know what it would have cost to take those pipes and cut them off down here and take them and pull them out of that tank and all and get them out of there. But it couldn't be with $135,000 with another $10,000 to $15,000. They could have put those new pipes there, and now we've let all that paraphernalia that's been sitting there for all these years get back in that tank. So we've got to do something. We've got the thing back almost in good order. We've got to finish the job and get rid of that pollutant.
Why didn't this come up, why didn't they notify us of the challenge that they couldn't get into the point that they needed to do to clean it? And by the way, the black is not iron, that's magnesium.
Well, magnesium, whatever.
We had a guy come by and check it the other day for the iron level was off the chart.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Well, I'm
That's
sorry, I'm sorry that I didn't get this in time to get it, but I could have put those pictures on that screen there for you. Now that, I'm almost getting to the point that I'm getting proficient with this, but I didn't quite get everything ready to do it. But we'll have them available to you so that we can transfer them to your phone and you can look at them. But at any rate, it's just a fact that a lot of our contamination and stuff that people are looking at and not liking, and I don't blame them, is coming from the trying to restore and put the Gill Street tank back in service, and we've got to get that corrected. Okay, anything else, council? Mr. Johnson?
So move.
What say you, Mr.
So
Johnson?
move. Let's go
Mr.
on.
Johnson moves that we adjourn, and Mr. Bloodworth, seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night. See, there you did get to be pretty.